Now, in the last few minutes, French officials have said that at least 10 people are now known to have died after a boat carrying migrants capsized in the English Channel. These are the latest pictures from the scene where a large search and rescue operation is underway. A spokesperson for the French Coast Guard says over 50 people were on board the boat. Many are in need of medical treatment. Several people are understood to be in critical condition. Well, it's understood to have happened off the coast between Cap Gris-Nez and Wimereux, which is a stretch of the coastline between Boulogne and Calais, one of the shortest distances away from the English coast. Emergency services have been responding since around 11:30 local time. I spoke to our reporter Simon Jones.
Well, this was clearly another dangerously overloaded boat carrying more than 50 migrants. We know it got into difficulty shortly after setting off from the coast of northern France, and all the people who were on board that dinghy ended up in the water. So that has prompted a huge rescue operation. We understand from the French Coast Guard that at least 5 people have lost their lives in this incident. French media are reporting the number who've died may be higher than that, but at the moment we're told from the French Coast Guard, at least 5 people have died. It's the latest tragedy in the Channel. People desperately trying to get from northern France over to the UK on these boats, which are overloaded, which are very badly constructed. Before today, 25 people had lost their lives attempting the journey so far this year. And that's a big rise on the figure that we saw last year, which is almost double the figure we saw for last year. Now, in terms of the rescue operation, that is still very much ongoing. We've got helicopters up in the air. We've got boats out at sea, because when you've got so many people who ended up in the water, you have to make sure that everyone has been accounted for. Now, those rescued have been taken back to the shore at Boulogne, where many of them are receiving medical treatment. We heard that 10 of them were in a critical condition. So at the moment, at least 5 confirmed to have died. That this appears to be another major incident in the Channel and another sign of the risks that people are taking in the world's busiest shipping lane, getting on these boats to try to reach the UK.
And Simon, just briefly, the political backdrop obviously continues with a lot of pressure on the government in the UK to try to stop these crossings, because we are seeing the risk to human life here.
Yeah, so far this year, more than 20,000 people have made the crossing. That's putting pressure on the new government, who say they are determined to get a grip of this issue, not least because of the dangers. This is the world's busiest shipping lane, and people are dying attempting the journey. So the government says it's trying to set up a new border security command. It wants to go after the criminal gangs organizing these crossings, because it says these gangs are simply trading in human misery.